A in PES diagram is? Bravo! Coulombic energy is the answer. Examples of luminescence are: you chose all of the above, and it is correct. Example for bioluminescence is: well picked. All the above is the correct answer. Intersystem crossing is a: well done. Non-radiative transition is the right choice. Example of protoalkaloids dash. Sharp thinking. Colchinin is the right choice. Condition for chemiluminescence. Good job. Your answer fast exothermic works well here. Photochemical reaction is highly. Solid response. Selective is a valid choice. Imidazole on nitration gives dash. Smart move. 4-nitroimidazole is an accurate answer. Dimethylxanthine is named as dash. Exactly. Caffeine makes sense and it is right choice. Diacetyl derivative of morphine is. You got it. Your choice heroin is right. Hammett acidity function related to. Right again, Bronsted acid is a valid answer. Emission of light without heating is. Excellent choice. Luminescence is the right answer. Stark-Einstein's law is applicable to. Good thinking. Primary process is the right answer. Grotthus-Draper law is dash in nature. Right choice. Purely qualitative is the best answer. Atomic species fluorescence is called. Great job. Resonance fluorescence is the accurate answer. T1 to transition is referred to as. Perfect. Phosphorescence is the correct choice. Who discovered the Beer-Lambert's law? You're right. Pierre Boger is the correct answer. What are alkaloids primarily known for? Nicely done. Exhibiting pharmacological activity is a solid answer. S1 to SAS radiative transition is called. Clear logic. Your choice fluorescence is sound and 100% true. Example for quantum yield less than 1. Nice work. You chose formation of Ekbra and it is correct. Monolayer adsorption isotherm basis 4. Valid point. Langmuir adsorption isotherm is true. The excessive intake of iron causes dash. On track. Siderosis is the correct answer. Which parameter has a very small effect? Smart pick. Temperature is the correct choice. Phosphorus glows in air is an example of. Great thinking. Chemiluminescence is the right choice. The molecular formula of caffeine is dash. Correct response. CH1042 is the most accurate answer. Energy produced from a living organism is. Nice selection. Bioluminescence is the correct and valid answer. The pathway preferred from call to product. Correct. Minimum energy is the right answer. Energy produced by a chemical reaction is. Strong choice. Chemiluminescence is the right answer. The first discovered zinc metalloenzyme is. Well reasoned. Carbonic anhydrase is the correct choice. 1 Einstein is the energy associated with. Excellent. Avogadro number of photons is a brilliant choice.
Photochemistry deals with the absorption of.
You got it. Your choice light radiation is right. The compound involved in bioluminescence is correct response. Luciferin is the most accurate answer.
Which of the following act as photosensitizer?
Strong choice. Chlorophyll is the right answer. Which of the following converted into products? You're right. Activated molecules is the correct answer. Name the sensitizer in photosynthetic reaction. Nice selection. Chlorophyll is the correct and valid answer.
Alkenes add with carbonyl compounds to form dash.
Well picked. Oxetane is the correct answer. Photochemical reactions are occurred by absorbing. Valid point. Light is true. What is the product synthesized in photosynthesis? Well done. All of the above is the right choice. How many bonds are present in 2? On track. 1 is the correct answer. Number of NH3 groups is identified by dash method. Nice work. You chose Herzig-Meyer, and it is correct. The therapy used in detoxification of heavy metal is right choice. Chelation therapy is the best answer. Which metal is used for the synthesis of vitamin B12? Excellent. Co is a brilliant choice. Dash is also known as principle of quantum activation. Great thinking. Stark-Einstein law is the right choice. Identify the alkaloid contains an isoquinoline nucleus. Excellent choice. Morphine is the right answer. False statement regarding to Langmuir adsorption isotherm. Sharp thinking. Valid at high pressure is the right choice. The structure of reserpine was elucidated from which plant? Solid response. Rauwolfia serpentina is a valid choice. Which alkaloid is used as a local anesthetic in dentistry? Well reasoned. Cocaine is the correct choice. True or false? Combustion of coal is a photochemical process. Correct. False is the right answer. What is the primary requirement for a photochemical reaction? You chose light, and it is correct. For a species containing no unpaired electrons have a spin of. Exactly. 1 makes sense, and it is right choice. If 2 unpaired electrons are present, the spin state is called. Great job. Triplet is the accurate answer. Which alkaloid was isolated from opium as the first crude drug? Smart pick. Morphine is the correct choice. Which of the following compound is not prepared from uric acid? Right again. Flavones is a valid answer. The extent of photochemical reaction upon the dash of the light. Bravo. Intensity is the answer. Emission of light stops immediately after removal of light source. Clear logic. Your choice fluorescence is sound and 100% true. What is the photosensitized in dissociation of molecular hydrogen? Perfect. Ag is the correct choice. Name the enzyme catalyzes the oxidation of luciferin in fireflies. Good thinking. Luciferase is the right answer.
The exciting radiation and emitted radiation are of same energy in.
Good job. Your answer resonance fluorescence works well here.
Conversion of organic nitrites to nitroso alcohols is known as DASH.
Nicely done. Barton reaction is a solid answer.
Attenuation is the rate at which the signal light dash in intensity.
Smart move. Decrease is an accurate answer.
Which of the following functional groups is not present in rezapine?
Phosphate group is the answer.
Number of hydroxyl group present in flavones can be identified by dash.
Correct response. Acetylation is the most accurate answer.
If complex follows Waite rule, what is hapticity of CP?
Nice work. You chose 5 and 5, and it is correct.
Which reagent is used for the conversion of salicylaldehyde to coumarin?
Great job. Shashna cake is the accurate answer.
Quadrupole splitting is observed in nuclei having the spin dash than 1 to 2.
Excellent. Greater is a brilliant choice.
Which of the following is the common functional group in an alkaloid structure?
Correct. Amine is the right answer.
The reaction mechanism of the Hunts-Dicker reaction involves the formation of dash.
Smart pick. Radical intermediate is the correct choice.
The change in position of the resonance in Mossbauer spectroscopy is called as dash.
Exactly. Isomer shift makes sense and it is right choice.
Can you identify the enzyme which is oxidized during emission of light by fireflies?
Smart move. Luciferin is an accurate answer.
The same path length and concentration of the sample are directly proportional to the.
You got it? Your choice absorbance of light is right.
According to Stark-Einstein law of photochemical equivalence, the quantum yield should be.
Valid point. One is true.
When 2 or more molecules are decomposed per photon, the reaction has dash quantum yield.
Good thinking. High is the right answer.
What is the role of the uranyl ions added to oxalic acid solution in a chemical actinometer?
Right choice. Photosensitization is the best answer.
Luminescence delayed by more than 10 raised to the power 7 second after excitation can be called.
Excellent choice. Phosphorescence is the right answer. Catalytic non-radiative deactivation of an excited molecule without chemical reaction is known as.
Nicely done.
Quenching is a solid answer.
Which of the following is not a light source used in the experimental determination of quantum yield?
Well picked. Sodium vapor lamp is the correct answer.
The substances which initiate a photochemical reaction but itself does not undergo any chemical change is called?
Perfect. Sensitizer is the correct choice.
Which of the following is a non-radiative transition to a lower vibrational level within the same electronic state?
Sharp thinking. Vibrational relaxation is the right choice.
Which of the following is a non-radiative transition between two electronic states of the same spin multiplicity?
On track. Internal conversion is the correct answer.
Lighter elements are not suitable for Mossbauer spectroscopy because the energies of the nuclear transitions are too.
Nice selection. High is the correct and valid answer. Which retrosynthetic terminology is associated with the disconnection of a specific functional group in the target molecule? Well done. Functional group disconnection is the right choice.
Isomer shift is more sensitive to changes in s-electron orbital occupancy because electron wave functions have their dash at the nucleus.
Well reasoned. Maximum density is the correct choice.
The dash determines the color of visible light.
Clear logic. Your choice wavelength is sound and 100% true. Identify the type of luminescence involved in fireflies. Strong choice. Bioluminescence is the right answer.
Dash is the energy that can travel through space in the form of waves.
Solid response. Electromagnetic spectrum is a valid choice.
Which of the following type of electromagnetic radiation has the most energy?
You're right. Ultraviolet is the correct answer.
Which has the shortest wavelength and, therefore, the highest frequency, most energy?
You chose gamma rays, and it is correct. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Right again. Contact Narayan Changder is a valid answer.